Do you know, by default, every pod in your cluster can talk to every other pod. That means if one pod is compromised, attacker can reach everything. How do you stop that? The answer is network policies. This is part 26 of the Kubernetes series. Kubernetes networking is open by default. Any pod can send the traffic to any other pod in the cluster, across namespaces, across apps. This is massive security risk. So if your payment service can be reached by your logging service and your logging service gets compromised, the payment service is now exposed. Network policies let you lock this down. Think of network policies like a whitelist on the phone. By default, your phone rings for everyone. A network policy is like switching to the whitelist mode. Only numbers you explicitly approved gets through. Everything else goes straight to the voicemail. A network policy is a Kubernetes resource that controls which pods are allowed to send and receive traffic. So there will be two directions. Ingress controls incoming traffic to a pod. Other is egress, controls outdoor traffic from a pod. A network policy uses pod selector to choose which pod it applies to. Then it uses ingress and egress rules with from or to selector to define which pods are allowed. Two important rules to remember. If no network policy selects a pod, all the traffic is allowed. Once any network policy selects a pod, all traffic not explicitly allowed is denied. Network policies are additive. Multiple policies on the same pod combine their rules. Also, network policy only works if your cluster has a CNI plugin. Now, let's understand the file and demo it. This is our first file, deny-all-policy.yml. So, the kind is networking policy. Pod selector is empty braces. That means it applies to all the pods in the default namespace. So, no ingress rules defined here. So, that means all incoming traffic is blocked. This is your baseline. Lock everything down first, then open only what you need. Now let's check another file. So this is also a network policy. The name is allow frontend. It applies only to the pod with the label app. See clearly the ingress rule says so only the frontend pod can reach the backend pod. Everything else blocked. So both the policy got created and kube control get network policies confirm they are active. Now let's apply both the pods, frontend and the backend pods. So front-end pod, now I will apply the backend pod. Okay, both the pods created. We will use this kube control get pods with output wide. Can you see your front-end and backend both pods are running? Put the backend pod IP from the IP column. We will use it to test traffic. Add this backend IP here. Let's see if our front-end can reach the backend. Yes, front-end reached the backend. Success. That means the network policy allowed this front-end because it has a label app backend. Now let's see the service account pod which we created earlier can reach the backend because that's not whitelisted. Can you see any other pod which is not whitelisted and tries to reach the backend pod? The connection timed out. This is blocked by the network policy. Only frontend is on the whitelist. If you want to restrict pod-to-pod communication in Kubernetes, use network policies. Thanks, follow for more.